is our Beacon Hill single vineyard Syrah from the Waipopai Valley. Hasn't been labelled yet. This is my work in progress label design, but we'll see what happens when the printers get back to it and we have all the finishes done. But yeah, brand new release. So this is 2024 vintage. We basically made it like a Pinot Noir. We have a lot of experience of making Syrah here in Marlborough. It's from a vineyard where we make Pinot Noir from. So we basically just thought we're going to make it in a sort of Marlborough style, fruit-driven, not too extracted. So hand-picked fruit, we de-stemmed everything. We weren't sure about the ripeness level of the stem, so it's 100% de-stemmed, and then just once a day punch downs, manual punch downs like we would do for Pinot Noir. So it's not super dark, it's quite rich and fruit-driven. Really has this kind of sweet fruited tendency to it. I feel we don't have a lot of reference point for it yet because it's a new variety for the region, but we're feeling like there's some similarity with a lot of sort of more high altitude Syrah from Australia, where it's not as big and rich as the Barossa and so on, but it's in the sort of sweet fruited spectrum rather than the kind of more perfumed, floral, peppery Northern Rhone, or the darker examples you get from Waiheke or the Hawke's Bay. So this is medium-bodied. It has a lot of similarities with our Pinot, and it's blackberry, plum, these really rich fruit to it, but 100% de-stemmed, and it's in oak for about 10 months, and 25% new oak. Similar barrel program that we use for Pinot. We just use some of our Pinot barrels. There's these Mercury as a Cooper has a lot of this sort of smoky, bacony character. There's a bit of that in there for the new oak. It goes well with Syrah's natural sort of savoury profile. I think it's definitely showing that Marlborough wines tend to be quite expressive in the fruit component. When you can get a lot of Syrah's really variable in all sorts of different terroirs, but so far the style we're making, and maybe it seems that we might be making in Marlborough, is this sort of really fruit-driven style, like we tend to do for Pinot Noir as well. So yeah, vines are still young, so there's time for us to experiment over the years. But I think it's probably not going to be super, super peppery on account of the fact that a lot of that compound is derived from stems rather than synthesized in the grapes themselves. So without a huge whole bunch inclusion, you're not going to get a lot of black pepper in Syrah here. And I don't know about the ripeness levels in Marlborough, depending on whether we'll get the stems ripe at a phenolic and alcoholic ripeness that we're happy with. So we pick the fruit when we think the fruit's good based off tasting, and then stem inclusion or not, depending on what they look like. And in 2024, not ripe enough, I think, for any inclusion. So it's quite drinkable now. The tannins are approachable. It's soft enough now, and really plush. And I think it does look like a Marlborough example, which is quite interesting when you just see, like with some of these new varieties, Albarino, things that we're bringing in. Marlborough tends to deliver a bit more fruit than you often see in some other regions. So really, yeah, interesting thing to be looking forward over the years. We'll slowly be doing a little bit more Syrah, but it's still really, really tiny production at the moment. But yeah, enjoy.
はい、今ねシラーですね。マールボロでシラー作ってるって多分知ってる人少ないと思うんですけども、はい、ワイホパイバレーで、作られたシラー。シラーズってね、オーストラリアでは Z をするんですけど、ここでは SYHA、ごめんなさい、ちょっとやってる SYRAH、これシラーっていう、これフランスのローの読みなんですよね。このローの読みで書いてるということは、このオーストラリアのシラーズではなくてロールのシラーを目指しているということだとは思うんですけども、まだこれさっきのアルバリーニョみたいにこう新しいこのマルボロの品種なんで、まだまだチャレンジしているところだっていうことなんですけど、これフルーツフォワードな感じでこう、オーストラリアのシラーとはちょっと一線を画したいというだと思うんですね。フルーツフォワードなんだけど、そんなにこう がっつりくる感じじゃなくて結構冷涼なイメージもありますね。色もこれ明るいじゃないですか。オーストラリアのシラーズ結構もうちょっと黒系の果実になりやすいんですけど、明るい色なんで、はい、私は今ニュージーランドのマルボロの、アストロラーベというワイナリーの併設レストランに来ています。はい、楽しいな。何か質問とかあります？ないですか？じゃあこれで一旦これからね、ブレムナムっていうね、ここもブレムナムっていうところなんですよ。まあマルボロの中心地ですね。ブレムナムっていう町なんで、ここから歩いて、まあ、ホテルまで20分ぐらい。ブレナムで今ちょっと明日がねマルボロのワインフェスティバルなんですよね。ちょうど2月14日バレンタインデーなんで、街もちょっと活気づいてる感じですね。明日のまあ多分マルボロで一番賑わう時だと思うんですけど、はい、なので、ちょっとブレナムでもなんかコンサートとかやったりしてるんで、後でその街の模様もねライブ配信しますので、またね。